You doing, universe? How you doing? This is Steve Kerr here, your life coach specialist. It's only when you're aiming high that you spread your wings and truly fly. Truly, I am extraordinarily blessed and so happy to be connecting with you all at this time. Once again, I have to apologize. But circumstances happen. I tell you, I'm an Uber driver and so forth. I'm transporting some individuals and so forth. And sometimes it just gets into moments where I got to coach. And so I intended to be on at 12 noon, but here it is. I am on nonetheless. And I have a very, very powerful message for you all to hear today. I'm going to ask you also to get a pen and paper. You're going to need to write this down. It's very important. This message is a game changer. It really is a game changer. And before I get into the message, I got to give a shout out to my friend Randall Mitchell. He has a morning affirmation. I don't know if you all know him, but Randall, shout out to you. More power to you. Love your message this morning. This too shall pass. And really correlates with the message that I have to bring to my listeners right now out there. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm usually on at 12 noon, but here I am speaking right now to you. Grab your pens, grab your papers. I'm going to share with you something that happened to me this morning that I had to reach into the pages of my book. Those who haven't yet seen the cover, I've put it out. That's the cover of my book right there. I told you, I'm going to tell you today the date of my book launch. I have it. It's locked in. We're working and we're moving forward. But before I get to the date, I just got to get this story out. Now, I woke up this morning, and I wake up every morning in a positive vibration. But something happened that caused, and I'm not going to get into the details of what happened with you. That's very personal. But what I want to share with you is how I dealt with it. Now, what happened to me caused a lot of anger and rage to come up inside of me, that my blood was boiling. I was feeling red hot. And I know that if I opened my mouth at that particular point, things were going to start to whirl around, if you know what I'm talking about. And I chose to hold my tongue. Baljit, how you doing? Wonderful to see you, my friend. And I chose to hold my tongue. And I left the house. Had to go to the bank to get some money, get some gas so I can go and Uber drive. But on my way to the bank, there is this negative voice that was saying to me, you ought to get angry right now, and you ought to show everybody how angry you are, and you ought to express yourself in your angerness right now. And I didn't listen to the voice. Matter of fact, I chose to dig deep inside of me and find a song of joy that I knew, and I started to sing it to myself. Just me in the car, started to sing it to myself. And as I was singing the song to myself, I slowly started to feel my temperature decreasing, and I slowly started to feel that calmness within me. And I pulled up at the bank and I parked my car. I crossed the street and I looked and I saw a gentleman in the bank at CIBC, right downtown Brampton. Four Corners, if you know what I'm talking about. And I stepped into the bank, and right then I looked on the bank machine, and the bank machine, in my mind, I saw out of service. Right then and there, I felt that rage wanted to come up again. Oh, now the bank machine is out of service. I got to go to another location and so forth. And I saw the man standing there. So I turned to him and I said, oh, the bank machine is out of service? Then he looked at the machine and he said, no, it's not. It's working fine. So I stepped up and I looked closer at the machine, and it didn't say out of service. But I'm telling you, When I looked at the machine first, I saw out of service. And I said, oh, okay. I put the card in the machine. Then it said on the machine, card malfunctioning, cannot read card. Oh my God. But before I could even respond to that, the gentleman, he said, good morning. And guys, that did it. All of a sudden, instantly, all that rage, all that anger, whoosh, it was gone. What you have to understand is this. I'm the guy that always says good morning to everybody I meet. But because of the mindset I was in, I missed that. I just said to man, is the machine working? And he said no. And I didn't give him my regular salutation. But he said, good morning. I turned around to him and I smiled. And then I said, good morning to him. And I thought that was it. I turned back to the machine. I realized I put the card in backwards. I turned the card around. I put it in. It accepted the card. I'm putting in the code. But then the gentleman spoke again. And this is what he said. He said, how are you feeling right now? Very good question, but interesting from a perfect stranger. So I turned around and I looked at the man and I said, powerful. He then said, wow, I have never in all my years heard that before. Then he said, I want to know who you are. He reached into his pocket and pulled out this little 3-inch book and he said, could I have your name and number? I would like to buy you a coffee and I'd like to know who you are. I almost broke down and began to cry. I wrote down my name and number in the book. I got my money and I left. And I drove to Toronto where I Uber drive. And I had my client in the car and the phone rang. I opened the line because I'm hands-free. And I said, hello. And the voice said, is this powerful? And I started to laugh. It was the gentleman just giving me his number and want to know when we can connect for coffee. The moral of my story is today, guys, is this simple. Reposition yourself. What happened to me in my home and the rage that I felt, the best way I can describe it to you is this. It was like a tornado whirling around. And if you know about a tornado is just focused wind. But the wind is so focused and so powerful, it has the power to take the roof off of a house. It has the power to move a 500-ton vehicle. Focused wind. And that was what's going on in that moment that I'm beginning my day and I was about to leave the house with all that rage, with all that tornado. But I chose to reposition myself. If you would reposition yourself in a tornado, you would see the center, the eye of the storm is the most peaceful and quiet place. I chose to reposition myself, and I had the ability then to see and navigate my way out of the storm. I know somebody needs to hear this message today because you're going through a situation in your life that you're feeling the storm. You're in the storm. I know somebody is listening and that they're feeling rage coming inside of them. But I'm here to tell you, all you got to do is reposition yourself. And you will have a different perspective of the storm that you're in. You will see the way out. You will find the way out. Reposition yourself. If there's anything that I've said that resonate with you, just show up a love right now. Just give some hearts right now. Just give some likes right now and share this message with your friends. Now, I told you I was going to share with you the date of my book launch. I ratified it yesterday. I'm excited. Check my video. I showed you the auditorium yesterday where it's going to be. Friday, October 28th. Write that down. Friday, October the 28th, we are going to have a Who Am I mega conference. I have some dynamic speakers lined up, 3 individuals along with myself. We are going to empower you, inspire you, magnify your position that you could, listen to this. My philosophy is this. I plan to leave this world better than I found it. This book, 2 years in the making. It is the most anticipated book release in the GTA, and you could be a part of it. I have room for 800 people. Yes, the numbers have grown. I have room for 800 people. Mark the date. Tell your friends. I'm Steve Kerr, your life coach specialist. And remember, aim high, spread wings, fly.